Hello, and welcome to the Jocelyn Moore Show. I'm your host, Jocelyn Moore, and as always, we're here to inform, inspire, and entertain with dynamic conversations that matter. All right, beauty lovers, buckle up because we're about to dive into a multi-billion industry that includes cosmetics, skincare, hair care, and more. This industry touches all of our lives, from the products we use every day to the latest trends that have shaped our culture. Many people dream of making a career out of their passion, but I guess has done just that. Joining me today is Latoyia Johnson, owner of LCJ Styles, a senior cosmetologist and certified makeup artist. But that's not all. As a passionate cosmetologist, instructor, and beauty professional, she's dedicated to teaching her students the secret of professional image and diplomacy. Latoyia believes that your professional image is everything. Welcome to the show, Latoyia.
Good afternoon, Miss Moore. How are you? Or do you
Fine,
like
and you?
Jocelyn?
Jocelyn is fine.
All right, Jocelyn, how are you
Okay.
doing today?
Thank you. Thank you for being here and sharing your expertise. Please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Hi, everyone. My name is Latoyia Johnson. I'm the owner of LCJ Styles. I'm a hairstylist, makeup artist, and cosmetology instructor located in Maryland, but I service anyone that needs my expertise.
Great. Okay, let's start with these questions. Okay. Every company name has a reason. So what is the inspiration behind yours?
It's simple. It's my name. My name is Latoiya Crawford Johnson, and I'm doing what I love to do, which is to style people.
Take us back to the beginning. Can you share the highlights of your journey to becoming a leading beauty expert?
Sure. So I've always loved fashion. I loved beauty. I've always read magazines, watched music videos, award shows. That's how I learned the latest trends. But what I started doing was I started mimicking the techniques I was seeing in these magazines and started doing my own hair, as well as my family and friends. Then I decided to attend Bennett Career Institute, which is located in Washington, D.C. And that's where I received my education in cosmetology. I passed the state board, became licensed, and I started servicing clients.
How many years is that?
So I went part-time, so it was a 2-year program. But if someone goes full-time into the cosmetology program, it takes about a year to complete your 1,500 hours. So for me, it took about a year and a half. But I've been in the industry for well over 20 years.
Okay, great. Okay. How do you prepare different skin types like oily, dry combination before makeup application? And what type of makeup brands do you primarily use?
Regardless of the type of skin you have, it's very important that you cleanse and moisturize your skin daily. The skin is the largest organ of the body, so we have to protect it. And how we protect it is by taking good care of it. It's also important to remove makeup before we go to bed. And I say this all the time because I have clients to get their makeup done. And they're like, I'm going to keep this on all night. I'm going to sleep. And I'm like, no, you're going to wake up with your lashes on
Really?
your pillow and
Ooh.
makeup everywhere, mascara everywhere. You have to change your pillows. So remember to take off your makeup at night because it's going to clog your pores. But my recommendation for oily skin, you have to wash your face twice daily and moisturize. So wash and moisturize in the morning as well as at night. But make sure you're using a lightweight moisturizing product. It could be a lotion, but make sure it's oil free because if you have oily skin, you don't want to put an oily moisturizer on. It defeats the purpose. For oily skin, you can also use a clay mask every 2 weeks. You could do a clay mask treatment, but you have to be careful with those because it could also dry you out. For dry skin, same thing. Cleanse your face, moisturize it, but you want to use a hydrating moisturizer because the face is dry. So you want to hydrate it. For combination skin, you want to use a gentle non-stripping cleanser as well as a lightweight moisturizer. So regardless of the skin type, you have to cleanse and moisturize. It's mandatory. You also can tone your skin and use serums and things like that, but you have to know your skin type before you start using those products as well. As far as the products that I use, when I'm doing makeup, I make sure my client's face is cleansed and moisturized and toned if needed. And then I also go in with primer. I love the Denise primer because it works for all skin types. She's all about yummy skin. I also like the new Neutrogena makeup removers. And I love any type of cleansing or moisturizer you can use that is best for your skin type. So my recommendation is when you go to CVS or wherever store you go to, down that aisle, start reading the product labels so you're getting the correct product for your skin type.
Talking about makeup, I know, like in the movies and the soap operas, they go to bed with their makeup on. Okay, now let's move on. Okay. As a makeup artist, let's talk about the clients and budgets. Do you believe you have to buy a makeup from a high-end brand store for it to work well?
That's a very good question. It is. And I get it. I get it quite often. I have the privilege of being in the industry because I'm in the industry and I have my license. I can always get discounts on products. But I always think about a regular consumer and I get that question. I'm on a budget, but I want to wear quality makeup. Do I always need to invest and spend a lot of money? Well, for me, I do believe purchasing quality products and knowing the ingredients is a must. I'm always an advocate for that. So to answer your question, get quality products, but know what you're using. Understand the ingredients. When looking at a price point, I do recommend registering on these companies' websites because there are possibilities they have reward programs, so you're going to get discounts on purchasing as well.
So now some people believe the more you spend, the better the product is, right? A lot of people believe that.
Yes, people do believe that. And what I try to make my clients understand is find out their comfort level. Some people do not wear makeup. Some
Right.
people do. But if you do like wearing makeup, I like to understand what type of look you like so I can recommend the correct product for you. Because like I said, once again, you could buy products and have them and never use them. And that's a waste of an investment.
Race. Mm-hmm.
And as a makeup artist, I'm always building my kit, but I get in the habit of getting certain palettes that I know I can use for more than one thing. For example, there's an eyeshadow palette I like from Alamella Cosmetics as well as Danessa Myricks. But this palette I can use as an eyeshadow, but I can also use it to groom your eyebrows. I can also use it to line your lips before lipstick. So it comes to a point where you're really interested in makeup, what products you know works best for you and how you can use them. And get your discounts.
Let's talk about those show-stopping big fake eyelashes. What's the story behind it and what makes them such a sought-after look?
So yes, the big eyelashes is a trend and eyelashes have been a trend. Big eyelashes have been a trend for a very long time. But the thing about false eyelashes is it's intended to make your natural eyelashes look fuller and longer. It enhances the look of the makeup application. It's like putting that cherry on the top of an ice cream sundae. It's the finishing piece. Big lashes have been out forever. I remember being a young girl and watching Mahogany and watch Diana Ross with these big lashes. And the thing was, lashes have always been big. It's just now for the consumer, some people feel like they're just being too dramatic. So at the end of the day, big lashes are here to stay. They've always been trending. But the importance is for the consumer to understand what is their eye shape so they can get the right eyelash that complements their eye shape. Because not everything is for everyone.
Yeah, because I was wondering, it seems like they growing more and more and more and more each time I see them on women and young girls. You know?
Yes. And I get it all the time. I don't want caterpillar lashes. I get it all the time. But to do tell you, just I know this was a question you asked, but I will say Ardell has a very good lash line. I also try to stress to my clients when they're doing their own eyelashes, please use eyelash adhesive, not hair bonding glue. Hair
Ooh.
bonding glue is not meant to make contact to your eyes. It's on the bottle. It can blind you. Hair bonding glue is meant for your hair, not for your lashes.
Okay. What are some of the common hair and skin concerns you encounter, and what are the solutions?
Okay, that's another good question. One of the common problems I am seeing is with hair. I need everyone to understand everyone's hair density is different. Everyone's elasticity is different. Everyone's porosity is different. Everyone's hair texture is different. Meaning hair density is the number of hair strands that grow out of your scalp. Okay? Everyone's is different. It determines how thick and thin your hair can be. Factors that affect your hair density could be age, it could be your nutrition, it could be genetic, it could be hormones, it could be your medications you're taking. Meaning, as we get older, our hair will change. But for some, it turns into hair loss, it turns into alopecia. Another thing that we see going along is traction alopecia. And that usually happens when braids are done too tight or ponytails are too tight. So that's something I'm seeing common in my chair, regardless of the person's age. What I have to stress to a lot of clients, because when someone loses their hair, they lose their confidence at the end of the day. They do. They lose their confidence. And as a hairstylist, you're therapy. And you have to let the client know, depending on the hairstyle they're requesting, it's our job to let them know if it's going to work or not once they're losing their hair. Because as hairstylists, we're here to camouflage the imperfection. We don't treat it. So alopecia is not something that hairstylists can treat, but it's a challenge that we do have in the chair. As a makeup artist, I'm witnessing hyperpigmentation. It's a condition that makes some areas of the face darker in certain spots. It can be caused, again, by age, by health conditions, acne scars, pregnancy, inflammation, sun exposure. I urge my clients to use daily moisturizers that contain SPF 15 or more, to please use sunscreen when they go on vacation. Don't get sunburned. You need to protect your skin, like I said earlier. Overall, you have to take care of your body. How you take care of your body and your skin? Drink water. H2O is our friend. We've been hearing this for years. Water is our friend. You have to drink water. You have to eat clean. You have to work out. You have to take your vitamins. That's why it's so important when you meet clients, you do client consultations, because when you have a client consultation, you collect data. You
Right.
find about your client's lifestyle. You find about their health conditions, because you need to know what product you're using on the client is not going to contradict with the medicines they're taking. So it's very important that you have these consultations with your clients. But overall, I'm seeing alopecia when it comes to some of the clients, when it comes to their hair. And the other part is with the skin is hyperpigmentation, which as we age and things change in our body, those things we cannot change when it starts happening. But it's about us preventing it now and taking care of our body now, so we won't have these problems later on. But for some, it's easier said than done.
I know it's so women, when you get your hair braids, or girls, they pull the hair back so much. You look like Chinese.
Yes, and
And you can tell when women get their hair done because they start patting their head when it's, that they start patting their heads. Oh, she just got her hair done.
And I've been told the tighter the braid, the longer the style is going to last. And I have to say,
Right.
no, the tighter a braid, the more hair you're going to lose. Because it's
Okay.
traction alopecia. That's what's going to happen to you. So, like I said, clients don't know until you educate them. You have to be the advocate to let them know what and what not to do with their hair and skin.
Hey, how do you help clients find the perfect hair color for their skin tone and style?
Sure. So I have consultations with my clients to understand their lifestyle. So I can recommend the appropriate hair color application for them. I have observed for the teens and the young ladies in their 20s, they love the fashion colors. They love the pinks, the red, the blues, the greens are often requested by them. Ladies in their 30s, they more tend to be more conservative depending on the lifestyle, meaning someone that works in the corporate world may not show up to work in pink hair, but they
Mm-hmm.
might show with blonde highlights. So it all depends on their age group, and what their lifestyle is and what their occupation is determines as well what the hair color is going to be. So first step is the consultation. I need to find out about you. I also need to analyze your hair and see if your hair can sustain the color application as well. Because like I said, everyone's hair type is different. Everyone's density is different. So consultations, collect the data.
I know I've seen women with blonde hair. I mean, who's dark skin with blonde hair. It seems like it doesn't match. And I guess some people just want to wear it just because I just want to wear it. Doesn't matter if it. I don't know if it looks. I don't know. Do they really think they look good with that color? You know what I mean?
Yes. So everyone has their own unique style. And unfortunately, some people follow trends that are not meant
Right,
for them.
Trent. Right, right. That's true.
You know,
That's
I'm a
it.
hairstylist, and trust me, I've tried certain hairstyles and certain wigs and did them, but once I put them on me, it wasn't for me.
Right.
And people sometimes do not have that mirror to be honest and say, you know what, sis, this is not for you. This is not the right color, the right dress, the right shoe for you. So it's about individuals wanting to be creative. I look at it as the creativity, but you also have to know your style. Who are you?
That's
Don't just don't
true.
follow a trend. Know who you are. Know what you really want to project out.
That's it, trend. Very good. Very good. Okay. For those of us on a budget, what are some of the simple ways to care for our hair and skin at home? Now, I heard that using mayonnaise on your hair adds moisture. Is that effective? And I must say, I did try it.
You did. How did it work for you?
I can't remember. That was a long time ago.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never used mayonnaise as a moisturizer or as a conditioner. I've heard of people use it. I personally have not used it, so I can't give any feedback on it. So who has? If it's working for them, please let me know. I want to know the end result.
You use it for cooking, right? That's what you use it for.
But at the end of the day, I do need individuals to understand their hair type, their texture, and their skin type, as I said earlier. And once you know your hair type and your skin type, then you can create that at-home routine, that at-home beauty care regimen routine. Being knowledgeable in these herbs will prevent you from, like I said, overspending on products that you really don't need. But overall, you need to remember shampoo and condition your hair, cleanse and moisturize your skin.
What's the funniest thing that ever happened to you while working as a client? Do tell.
So I don't have a real funny moment working on a client, but I will tell you I do laugh and chuckle when my clients are in my chair and they fall asleep when I'm servicing them. I laugh, but I laugh in joy because I want my clients to be comfortable in my chair.
Uh-huh.
If you're to fall asleep, you're real comfortable. I done had a client that kicked off her shoes in her sleep. She forgot,
Oh,
but she was comfortable. And when she woke up and saw herself in the mirror and said, "Oh, girl, you killed it," that was enough for me. So I can't say I had a real funny moment with clients, but I have my laughter and giggles when I see them fall asleep and I'm servicing them. I love it.
you involved in so much. So what inspired you, your focus on student and professional image on diplomacy? And yeah, answer that question. Answer that question.
Sure. So as a cosmetology instructor, I'm constantly advocating these two life skills to students. Everyone is watching you in person and on social media. So everyone is watching you and you have to protect your reputation. Your professional image is everything. The way you walk into a room, the way that you communicate with people, the way you clean and disinfect your implements. This is all part of you displaying your professional image. So understanding diplomacy is also crucial because you have to have a positive attitude to be in this business or any business. You have to know how to communicate with people politely, regardless of how critical the situation might be. You have to be tactful in your response. So that's why I advocate so much to students about their professional image, how they show up, how people look at them, and how they communicate with people in person and online, because you're constantly being watched and judged. So be the best presentation of yourself when you enter the room.
I know, like on social media, I know I was on Facebook and people, I don't know how old they are, but someone was saying they were cursing. They would say,
Mm,
"You don't know who I am." But people know
yes,
people are watching. You might
yes,
not know.
all the
People,
time. And you don't know, these people that's watching you, they're your next client.
that's right, because I
They
know
want you
that.
to
Well, go
They
ahead. I'm
seen
sorry.
all
Go
this
ahead.
great work. They seen
Hmm.
all this great work you're doing, and they
Yes.
want to book you. And
Hmm.
they're going through your page. They're
Hmm.
strolling, and when they see you use profanity, and when they see you not being ethical in certain things, you're being judged. So that same client that looked at all your great work got a chance to really see how you conduct yourself. I don't want to sit with you. I can't trust you. I don't want you to do my hair or do my makeup. So you have to protect your reputation at all times.
That's the thing. If people realize, also, you're looking for a job. People,
Yes.
you're looking for a job.
I you know, I have I have a student, and they were talking about celebrity rappers or singers or whoever. And in conversation, one of the students was saying, "Oh, I don't like her. She's this, she's that." And I intervened and said, "You need to watch when you say you don't like someone, because you don't know who I know. You don't know who anyone knows. You could be doing the aunt's hair of some celebrity, and because of something negative you said, you missed out on an opportunity for more work. So you have to watch what you say, and then we're in a world where everyone knows everybody. So you have to be very conscious of what you say and how you conduct yourselves around people.
That's true. I'm gonna go back to we talk about makeup.
Yes.
How long should you have makeup like I get makeup here like powder, lipstick. How long should you have it? Like a year, 2 years?
So, it all depends. Everything has a shelf life because you got to remember it had a shelf life while it was in the store and when you brought it home.
Mm-hmm.
So, every product has a shelf life. That's something probably we could talk about furthermore, Joyce, in another
Mm-hmm.
podcast. Maybe I could
Right.
get a model and we could do some
I
applications
would
and
love to
I
do
could
that.
discuss
Mm-hmm.
the shelf life of certain products. The one thing I would say is the mascaras that we use, when you use a mascara on yourself, don't take the mascara and constantly go into the tube. All you're doing is putting air and dirt in it. So don't ever take the spoolie out and continue to go like this into it because you're just putting air and debris inside of it. And then you're going to go like this to your eyelashes.
So you say don't keep going like,
No, what you're going
oh,
to do is scoop around. So when you
because I
take
would.
it out the tube, and I don't have, you see me looking, I don't have any mascara out. All my stuff's
Oh,
packed in the kit. When you have your mascara, you scoop around, then take it out and apply. Don't do this.
that's what I do.
And even for my makeup artists, what I trained them to do is the brush out the mascara, cut it off. Because the one you use it for your clients, you should have disposable spoolies that you use for each client. You don't double dip. To prevent you using the brush that came with the mascara, cut the brush off. So when you open it, you're not tempted to use that brush. You just set it to the side and take your disposable spoolie and get to work. But don't ever pound, you spool.
I must say this before we wrap up. I was at the stores a couple of years ago. We were in Washington, and this young girl, she must be maybe in the early 20s. She walked in the store, and you had the samples of makeup. I mean, samples of makeup. You had the lipstick. The young lady picked the lipstick up and just looked in the mirror and putting on her lips. I was shocked. She did.
She didn't use the disposable applicators.
She just went, saw the lipstick that she liked, evidently. She picked it up, looked in the mirror, and started putting it on her lips. I was shocked.
And you see in the stores, the samplers,
Uh,
they don't cut off the
mm-hmm,
brush or
mm-hmm,
the applicator the way I
mm-hmm.
said you should, because remember in the store, they're selling a product. So they want you to pick up the sample the way you would buy it. But unfortunately, I wish there was another MUA there to assist her and give her a disposable applicator to use because that's really what should have happened.
That was
It's
scary.
unfortunate we wonder how germs and diseases get spread
That's
because
true.
now that item is contaminated. That needs to
Yes,
be
it
trashed.
is. That's it's okay. Now, before we wrap up, what is the one piece of advice you wish you received when you were starting out in the business? One piece of advice.
Dream big. Dream big. This is a big industry. The opportunities are endless. Working behind a chair is great, but keep your options open. Like I said, the opportunities are endless. For my entrepreneurs and my future entrepreneurs, that same hunger and focus that you had to pursue the industry you want to be in, and that's not just the beauty industry. I'm talking about pilots, track stars, Olympians, chefs. That hunger and focus you had in the beginning that made you make the decision to pursue the industry you're in, you're always going to need that hunger and focus all the way to the end. You're going to always need to have that hunger and focus every day. So learn your craft, execute it with confidence, and enjoy the journey. You
Very
got it.
good. Very
Dream
good.
big.
Okay. Are you working on any projects that you can share with our viewers? And how can our viewers follow you?
So there are many projects I do have in the works, and the best way to keep up with them is to follow me on Instagram at LCJ Styles and stay tuned.
Well, Latoya, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and your commitment to children's well-being. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Joyce, for having me. I truly enjoyed myself. Thank you.
For our viewers at home watching, if you like what you see, subscribe to The Jocelyn Moore Show. Want to be a guest on our show? Head over to our website, www.jmentertainment.info. On the homepage, click on About and follow directions to be a guest. If you have any questions about today's show or past or future shows, just click Contact on our website and submit a message. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take care and keep watching.